Hey there, YouTube. So right now I'm just trying to make a quick little introduction video for a channel that I'm trying to start on here. Yeah, this is my fourth attempt at trying to make the introduction video for this, and I just don't know how to say everything that I want to say to introduce myself on here. Like the first time I tried to do this, it was over an hour and a half, I think. And then the past couple tries have been about half an hour. So honestly, I'd like to try to get it shorter than that. Especially since the sun's going down and it's going to be getting dark soon. Basically, I'm going to try to make a long story short for now. I'm someone that's been in the sex industry, as they call it, so to speak, for quite a while now. I'm a stripper, and I've also been signed up on a webcamming site for many, many years. And I struggle with both of those things a lot, and that's putting it very mildly. Whereas the reality for me is not really that mild. It's pretty extreme, and at least in my head, and it feels to me very extreme. A lot of the times, the way that I struggle feels pretty extreme. I live in a state that's extremely, extremely cold most of the year. I'd say about 8 to 9 months out of the year, pretty much. It's very, very cold. Winters are very harsh and very long, typically. And summer is 2 months out of the year, July and August. When I Google the coldest states in the US, the state that I'm in is usually in the top 10 and sometimes even the top 5 that comes up. Which, is pretty wild to me. I've thought about trying to go live somewhere else, but the kind of person that I am, it just doesn't seem very realistic for me. I've been on my own for a long time. Basically, I have a very small family, and the little family that I do have, they all kind of just moved away and left me where I am in the state that I'm in. They all just kind of moved away. I don't want to say they abandoned me because I'm a full-blown adult and I have been for a while, but yeah, I have mental health struggles. In my history, I've had a lot of crazy crap happen. So in all honesty, in a lot of ways, it does kind of feel like I've been abandoned my entire life by people. And then being a stripper, being all on your own. Well, I mean, the stereotype is being a single mom stripper, so I guess that would be worse. But definitely, well, I don't know. I mean, but I don't have kids. I've never been married, but I've been a stripper for a while. And I've been signed up on a webcamming site for a while. I've never actually gotten the hang of it. I just recently tried it again this past May. I tried it a few times. I had to wait until winter was pretty much over because I haven't had heat in my apartment for the past 3 years, for the past, 3 winters. So I was 16, 17 layers deep, bundled up when I was in my apartment, which didn't feel very sexy to me to be trying to webcam that way. But I've just never gotten the hang of the webcamming site. I feel if anything, it's just messed up my laptops more than anything. And, being a stripper, I've always struggled with my mental health and the things that I struggle with physically as well. And just yeah, my past, my history, the things that have happened, post-COVID, the economy, I've really been struggling lately, and it just seems to, the degree to which I struggle / basically suffer, it feels a lot of the time, the degree to, and the extent of that seems to just keep increasing. So my anxiety keeps on increasing, and I don't know, there's things really, I've been trying to think of ways to improve my life for a while, and you know, it's so hard to come up with much of anything. But like having the internet for my generation, this day and age, I feel like I might as well at least try, even if the webcamming hasn't really worked out for me very well so far. I've been thinking I could at least try the whole YouTube thing maybe. But yeah, it's really hard for me to be productive in my apartment, with it being so cold most of the year and not having heat, which is a whole other story and topic for a whole other video, really. Yeah, I mean, I just struggle with so many things, and I have for so long, and I'm really hoping that maybe finally starting, you know, trying this whole YouTube thing, I could improve the quality of my life in some way, shape, or form, at least to some extent somehow, you know. I really don't feel like I have much quality of life right now. It's all just like, it's, you know, it's all just seemed like an endless struggle for a while. So yeah, I mean, just a heads up, my channel will most likely be mostly just me complaining about my many problems, but hopefully in like an entertaining way, at least. But that's like the one topic of conversation that I feel like I could just never run out of things to talk about and never run out of things to say. So yeah, like I guess after this introduction video, some things I'd like to touch on are like the club that I work at, the way that it works, why it's been such a struggle for me there, especially lately. And then also the webcamming thing, like just being in the sex industry, like in my history, why that's, I mean, I think it's probably a struggle for just about any female that does that kind of work. And then there is kind of that stereotype that most of us do have, like, you know, a history, like with stuff in the past that's kind of messed up, daddy issues, this or that. But so I definitely feel like I fit the stereotype in a lot of those ways. But it's like, F it, why not just actually get into some real detail about that? Because, I mean, I want to talk about it. And I'm a contractor at the club I work at, so I don't have health insurance. I don't really know how to get it because I don't know how to report my income, and I don't want to, like, you know, be dishonest. And then being a contractor and making our own hours at the club that I'm at, I feel like, you know, the health struggles that I have, I really can't work very many hours, or I don't feel capable of doing, like, in my head I want to, but like my body's limitations, like my mental health limitations, I don't know how to work as much as I ideally would like to. And it's kind of embarrassing and confusing for me if I were to try to get some kind of assistance with something, like financial or otherwise. If I were to try to get some assistance in some way, I feel like there could always be the argument, well, just work longer hours, just work more. Like, you make your own hours, just stay longer, just work more, just work smarter rather than harder, or both. And then, you know, being a stripper, what really freaks me out, especially, like, it's like, well, be willing to go a little bit further, like with a guy, push your boundaries a little bit more with a guy to make more money that way, you know, like, which I don't want to do if I can help it. It's all just really confusing to me, the situation that I'm in and the way my lifestyle is and has been for a while. And I just look at the way things are, And I'm like, how did I get myself into this situation? But also I can see how it happened. Like, based on my history, I can definitely see how this happened, but it's also like, how did I let this happen? Or, you know what I mean? Like, it's just really been a struggle, and it only seems to get more difficult as time goes on. You know, like as I get older and the prices seem to just keep rising, whereas my income seems to just keep not rising or like going down, but also my ability to like work for as many hours as I'd want to, ideally, you know, it keeps going down because, yeah, I have a lot of health issues and things that I struggle with, but pretty much none of them are diagnosed because I don't have health insurance. So, and I don't even know what exactly I would be diagnosed with, but in my mind, the way that I feel that I struggle with things, I have like a list like this long of stuff that I think I probably have or could be diagnosed with. I just don't know how to get the ball rolling with getting some kind of help or assistance with that kind of stuff. It's all just a really confusing situation to me. And being in the sex industry, especially with that being the term that they call it, like with the word sex in there and then industry, like those two words together, it just really freaks me out. Yeah, it's just all very, very scary to me. And I've found myself just not knowing what to do for quite a while now. But yeah, being from the generation that I'm from and having access to the internet, I'm like, well, there is the webcamming to at least try. But since I haven't really been able to figure out how to actually make a decent amount of income from that either yet, I'm like, well, maybe try YouTube. But I'm like one of the most technology illiterate people probably on the face of the planet, to be honest. So, but I do like to talk. Once I get going, like I can really talk a lot. And I feel like even though a lot of what I'd want to talk about on here would be like, you know, my problems, my issues, the things that I struggle with, I feel like I could probably do it in a pretty entertaining way. So maybe people would still want to listen for that aspect of it, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, if I can still show a little bit of cleavage here without the steering wheel getting in the way. I just figured out like how to set up the little contraption that I have to hold my phone up to try to do videos in my car. Because, yeah, I just don't feel able to really do a lot in my apartment. It's just, I don't feel comfortable there. I don't feel comfortable in my car or my apartment, honestly. Because I've had stuff go missing from both. And you know, like you try to convince yourself, oh, that was probably just me like being spacey and misplacing things myself. But sometimes you just know that wasn't the case. Like you just know, like no, something's up, something's not right here. So, and then I'm like, yeah, is this because of being a stripper, or is this because of being in the sex industry as a whole? Or is this the webcamming? Is this the website that I'm on? Not even really on, because I don't really even stream on there. Like I tried it in May, didn't really like it as much as I wanted to or want to. But I've been technically signed up on the site that I'm on for like over 10 years, probably, like a long, long time. I just haven't actually like streamed on it very much. So it's like, yeah, it's been messing up my laptops all this time, but other than that, what has it really been doing other than hurting rather than helping? You know, which sucks. So I wonder a lot of times, like when stuff goes missing from my car or missing from my apartment, is this because of being a stripper, or is this because of the website that I'm on? Or are those things basically one and the same? It's just like part of the sex industry as a whole. Is it just like, you know, it all just freaks me out a lot. I definitely don't feel safe anywhere, like anywhere. Really can't sleep at night at all. So I don't sleep at night, but I usually try to work day shifts for various reasons. I don't know. I don't want to ramble too much on this. I'm at about 15 minutes now. So yeah, I mean, a lot of what I'm starting to get into could be its own video at some point down the road, possibly. But just as an introduction, that's basically what, if I'm able to go forward with this channel and actually post any of what I'm talking about, if anyone would ever see it, that's pretty much what I would be talking about. But also, yeah, being in the sex industry, a big thing that's been holding me back as well is just feeling like would anyone even see this stuff? Or would it just be like an AI bot that's like programmed to like block me off from the rest of the world because I'm in the sex industry? And whoever controls everything out there just wants me to be stuck in this as a stripper, you know what I mean? Like not really able to do anything else. Basically is like been a big fear of mine. And yeah, just with like AI and technology like progressing more and more as time goes on. I don't know if progressing is the word, but becoming like more and more of a thing. It's like, what is real? Like, is anything even real? Like, I feel like I'm like stuck in The Sims. Like, I remember playing The Sims as a kid, and now it's like, dang, like, if only I knew back, if only I could have had any idea back then that when I grew up, I would basically be a Sim. Or maybe I've been a Sim the whole time, you know, like just somebody else is like programming all this crazy crap in my existence and my experience of the world around me. But I just, yeah, it feels like the whole world is like an app sometimes, just like programmed against me, or like just a big fat middle finger in my face, basically. Like, I don't know, there's some parts of my so-called existence that I do enjoy, but mostly just being on stage, you know, and dancing, actually having to try to make money that way, and like, you know, begging guys for a buck or two, like, you know, that part I really cannot stand. I cannot stand being at the mercy of anyone or anything else trying to make a buck, trying to make a living that way. Or I can't even call it a living really right now, just trying to survive basically in that way. It's just so depressing to me and exasperating, and so bad for my what little mental health I might have left at this point, or ever had, really. And yeah, just with the way that I am, with the things that I struggle with the way that my situation is, I really can't think of a whole lot of ways to try to make improvements in my life. At least not in ways that I would want to, if that makes sense. Like, I really struggle being in the sex industry, but when I try to think of other jobs, like almost every other single one that I could think of, I wouldn't want to do that either. With a few exceptions, but those few exceptions, it's like, how would I ever get to there, coming where I'm coming from, you know? I just feel like my options, my resources are very, very limited. I feel very blocked off from most of the rest of the world, kind of just like in this isolated little bubble where somebody else that I don't know who or what they might be is like, you know, kind of controlling pretty much everything, like from somewhere I don't even know where. You know, just like pressing buttons, and I don't know. I don't know really, but what's that person doing? But it's starting to get dark out pretty soon, and I don't want to make this too long. Oh my gosh, my stomach, my anxiety is like, I don't think they're okay. They're not talking to me. There's a car behind me that just pulled up, and they're like talking to somebody. But yeah, so maybe I'll be able to try to, well, this video right now is shorter than the other ones. This is like 20 minutes right now, so I'm gonna try to wrap this up, and hopefully one of the either this or one of the other attempts that I've made for my introduction video, I'll actually be able to like work up the guts to try to post eventually at some point, if I can even figure out how to do that. I'm gonna try for it, I think. I'm gonna try to get myself to try and do it. And then from there, hopefully I'll be able to make more videos where it's actually more like, you know, different topics are more focused on and talked about for, like, they're each own separate video kind of thing, if that makes sense. So until then, anyone that might actually ever get to see this, thanks for watching, and possibly and hopefully stay tuned.